Namaste, I'm back with another shorter video. This time just making a few corrections to about 3 important hip opening asanas. These tips that I share with you or modifications that I share with you will help you to get a meaningful practice with no injuries. Let's get started. If you have a block handy, just to sit on it. If you don't have a block, you can use a cushion or anything that is higher than the floor level to sit on it so you can release the hips naturally to open them. While we sit for about half a minute to a minute in stillness and silence, just to get connected to ourselves, prepare ourselves mentally, physically, energetically for the practice that is to come. Whatever it may be, even if it's a short practice, just aligning and integrating our breath with our practice is always important. Sitting quietly, relaxed shoulders, relaxed arms and legs, relaxing our facial muscles, observing the subtle rise and fall of the chest and abdomen as we start to breathe our natural flow of breath, maybe inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, or inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Opening our eyes, light smile on our faces, welcoming you back to observe if you have that centering feeling, relaxed feeling in our body, in our mind, and our breath. Okay, we begin with, if you want to use the block, you may choose to do so. So we begin with Titli Asana, one of the most practiced hip opening pose. It's called the butterfly pose as well. This is what we do, and we flap our knees up and down normally in a practice. The mistakes we normally make are we work through the hips, but the pressure is noticed on the ankle or the knee. Yeah? So when you're opening the heel like a book, open your ankle, open your knee and your hip externally, putting equal pressure on all areas. So you feel that tension on all 3 joints of your lower body and hold that time under tension. So while you're here, you can hold your hand here or on the knee as you slowly start to lower your upper body down towards the ground. Second thing I've noticed also is the heels. They normally pull the heel closer to the perineal mass. Yeah. So what is happening here when you do that? You compress your knee. So there's a pressure on the knee when you're pulling that together. So it's not necessary you need to do that. You can just push it slightly away from your body, comfortable, and then go into a much deeper or intense work. And the third thing is, if you're a beginner and you're tight on your hips, your knees, or your ankles, you have a tendency to round your back as you lower your head down. And that obviously in the long run doesn't help and might create discomfort, issues, or pain in the lower back. To avoid that, we take our hands and place them gently behind the hips, maybe even retract our shoulder blades a little, sit very comfortably, and start to then flap the knee up and down while doing the work around the hip, the knee, and the ankle. And if you want to give it a slight more intense depth into it, you just push the knee down and away from the body. So a little bit of traction there. That is the first one. The second asana is the Padmasana. Again, very popular with hip openers and the mistake that we do when we're in Padmasana. So what we normally do is get into Padmasana is the instruction. People just lift the leg up, the feet up, pull it and place it on top of the thigh. Okay? And then the second heel up, and that is Padmasana for you. It is okay if you're just doing it once or twice, but if repeatedly you're doing the same practice again and again, you notice you're going to cause your knee some issues. Okay? When we're pulling the heel up, the knee normally is a joint which works in linear movement, just this way. It's not happy if you move it too much to the sides. So what you're doing when you're pulling up in Padmasana, you're twisting or torquing the knee to an angle which is not safe before we land, and then it's already under pressure. The same thing with the other knee as well. So to avoid that, what we can do is pull the knee to our chest. We twist from the hip. So we open the hip, and then with minimal torquing, very less pressure on the knee, we place the heel down. So the work is coming more from the hip than from the knee. Same on the other side. You pull the knee up and then open your leg and pull the leg in. This way you can enjoy a Padmasana for as long and as safely as you can and want. Yeah? That was the second one. The third pose is the Agni Stambhasana, or the fire log pose. Again, it's a very beneficial pose for the hip. So for modification to this pose, normally we just stack the joints on top of each other, especially the ankle over the knee and the knee over the ankle, and lower ourselves down or go to the side to get a stretch on the hip joints, the psoas, the piriformis muscles, the psoas muscles mostly, or sciatica muscles we use it for. But what is happening here is that we notice our ankle is down on the depth, the space between the thigh and the shin, the calf. So as we sit in this position for a long time, there is pressure that is not needed and not safe for the ankle joint. So what we can avoid and protect our ankle is by simply lifting up, placing them comfortably. You can use a block for this if you feel tighter. So use this as a prop and safely stack the joint on top of the knee. Yeah, so when you do that, you have no way, your hips are still working, but at least your ankle is safe. Then you can lower, push your body out, lower your head down, stay here for as long as you comfortably can or want, or even twist over to the side, lower down, and maybe do the same thing on the other side. Stack the joint comfortably, safely on top of the knee. If you want, and notice there is a diamond shape space between your legs. If you want to go slightly intense, you can use your hands to lift your hips up and push your hips slightly back. So you open up a little bit further, and then you can flex your toes in and let your upper body fall. Again, do not drop your head down. Try as much to shoot your body out in front of you. Yeah, so up front and down rather than completely down. And the same on the other side. Lengthen on your breath in, make yourself tall, and maintaining the same height, lower your forehead down and stay there again for as long as you want. But try to slowly increase the duration of the pose that you stay in from about a minute to about 5 minutes. And you automatically see how much of a difference you make in opening up your hip and releasing the tensions you have been observing around the hip and the buttock area. I hope this was useful for you. I will see you in another video with anything that I realize is helpful and I notice in my classes that could be helpful for you as well. Thank you and have a nice day.